So it is officially 5:44, and we will call the meeting to order. Um, for those of you that I don't know, I think I've met everyone, but anyway, my name is Lisa Walsh, and again, I so apologize for being late. I was already running behind, and then I went to the office on Olive Road and not here, so that's my fault. Um, so first item of business is approval of our agenda. So I'm sure you've all had plenty of time to review it by now. So if there are any additions or modifications, please let me know.
Madam Chair, I just have a clarification on enclosure I. It's authorization of local agency program, LA.
Enclosure I. Noted. Okay. Anybody else? Changing okay. If not, may I please have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor? All right. Any opposed? Doesn't seem that way. Okay. Very good. Moving on. Okay. Do we have any public input? If we do, please have submitted your card.
We do not.
We do not have any public forum this evening. Okay. Moving on. Okay. Next, we have our FDOT update, and I see Christy, not Brian. So, hi, Christy.
Hi. I just have one update for DOT. There's a virtual meeting. It's in February 22nd, and it's the Pine Forest Road PD&E what it's on, and it'll be held at the Northwest Florida Roads. It's nwflroads.com, and again, that's all the information we have. I did look on Northwest Florida Roads this afternoon, and it's not there yet. So if you want to keep looking, or just wait until February, when the February meeting, when we present more information. Okay, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chrissy. Is Mr. Beebe online with us? Or, okay.
I believe he is.
All right. Okay, so next up is our LDOT update. Mr. Beebe, are you out there?
Yes. Hey, good evening, everyone. I have a couple of projects. And I'm getting an echo, so I'm gonna go. We have our 180 widening project, and it is basically a complete. We are going through punch list. That has to be done. Then, in pre-construction, we have our waterway project. That one has a roadway and a bridge. The bridge portion is currently set for February 2021 letting, and then the main roadway will happen mid-end of 2023 right now. And then we also have a resurfacing job that's coming up on 98 from West Velverde to Perdido Pass Bridge there, Perdido Bay Bridge, I'm sorry. And we're looking to get that project into the letting phase in January next year. So that's really all we've got, and I'll take any questions for Arnie.
Thanks, Vince. Any questions for Vince? No questions. Thank you. All right. So
I have a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Too quick to move on.
Sorry. Yeah,
That's okay.
Mr. Beebe, just a little clarity on the resurfacing in 98. I'm there in Lillian, so the committee would like to know, after the letting process, could you just maybe a little more clarity on expected time frame?
Yeah, sure. So it's usually just on average about 2 months after the letting process. That gives time for the contract and the bonds and everything to get in place, and then you'll see some construction signs going up first. It's anywhere from really 4 to 6 weeks for a resurfacing job that you'll actually see some work starting and the crews starting to actually mobilize out there. And then those projects typically go pretty fast because it's just a mill and fill type job. We just basically take up the top layer of asphalt and then replace it almost right behind it. So that one I don't imagine taking more than
a couple of months before, everything's complete as well. So, but yeah, you're looking at typically just give about 2 months after the letting date, which is end of January. January 28th is that letting date. You're welcome.
Any other questions for Mr. Beebe? All right, so moving on to our consent items. So both numbers 1 and 2, we will vote on together. So once you've had an opportunity to look through hopefully you've had an opportunity already to look through the October meeting minutes rather. And the second is the consideration of resolution Florida-Alabama 2135, which is the Berry Hill Road West Carter Management Plan. Any motion to approve? Or any discussion before we move to approve? Okay, motion to approve. Mr. Wright, thank you. Mr. Smith, thank you. We have a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None. Thank you. All right, so moving on. Enclosure A, this is for all of us, all committees. Consideration of resolution Florida-Alabama 2130, amending the fiscal year 2022-2026 Transportation Improvement Program to add the construction phase for Jackson Street at Railroad Crossing. I will skip the number. Improvements for financial project identification number 4500411. Mr. Bryant, Ms. Christie?
Yes. Sure, we can do A, B, and C all in
All
one
together?
motion, if
Okay.
because they're all the same.
That is wonderful. Okay, so I will give you all just a moment to look at enclosures A, B, and C.
Now they're all, just to let you know, they're all current year additions, like you said, to the tip, and it's to install cantilevers at the railroad crossings at Jackson Street, Marcus Point Boulevard, and Michigan Avenue.
Any questions or discussion on that? All right. If none, may I please have a motion to approve? Jeb first. Michael second. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None. Okay. All right. Okay, so
D.
Christy, back to you. This is for consideration of resolution Florida-Alabama 2133.
This funding, this is a addition to the current year tip, and this is from the American Rescue Plan Act, and is to add an eastbound left turn lane on Sorrento Road at Nighthawk Lane.
Questions? Discussion? Motion to approve? It's your turn.
I'll motion to approve.
Thanks, Sarah. Second? Okay. All in favor? Any opposed? No. Okay, thank you. Motion passes. Okay. Moving on. Okay. Enclosure E, consideration of resolution Florida-Alabama 2134, an amendment to the fiscal year 2022-2026 tip. Christy.
And this is also from the American Rescue Plan Act. It's design and install corridor lighting it's just under 7 miles, US 90 from the Escambia-Santa Rosa County line to Bell Lane. It was a safety project, and the lights are being installed with a JPA with Gulf Power.
Any questions or discussion? Motion to approve? Mark, you second? Jeb? Okay, thank you. All in favor? Aye. None opposed. Okay, thank you. All right. Next one. So as many of you may have seen in the news, and you might have already discussed this before I got here, but our now former CAC Chair Vernon Compton was appointed to the Milton City Council and will no longer be our chair. So that's why you're stuck with me tonight as your vice chair, running the meeting and being 14 minutes late. So I know there was a nomination committee that met. No nomination. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. That's for the full. Okay, so I guess there's some discussion here. Does anybody volunteer to be the chair? Awesome. Jeb. Mr. Smith volunteers to be chair for the remainder of the fiscal year. Any discussions or questions about that? Okay, if not, I make a motion that we approve Mr. Jeb Smith to be our CAC chair for the remainder of the fiscal year 2022. Who is the first? Oh, I made the motion. Can I make the motion? I'm sorry. I take that back. I was so excited that it wasn't me. So
I'll make the motion.
thank you, Tim. There are only so many of us to do these formal things. Okay. And we have a second from Mark. So all in favor? Aye. None opposed. Thank you. All right. Congratulations. Okay. So the next one is TCC only. And then we'll move on to enclosure H, which is our ATMS update and TMZ location from Mr. Austin Mount.
Thank you, Madam Chair and CAC members. The item before you, as soon as I can flip to it here, I'm going to highlight some of the tidbits in the enclosure here, so I make sure I get the dates right. But if you want to follow along with me, I'm just going to go back to the enclosure. On September 12th of 2018, the TPO approved Resolution 18-31, identifying the TPO as the lead agency in the delivery of the Advanced Traffic Management System, or the ATMS system as we call it. As the lead agency, the TPO is the entity to own, operate, and deliver the ATMS project on behalf of the local governments within the TPO area. We have 5 local governments that have investment into this system. What this is a system that's going to put communications and different kinds of cameras and operating system on the traffic lights so that they can be synchronized and work together and communicate together and connect back to what's called a traffic management center, in which the TPO again will be delivering that project on behalf of all 5 local governments. So that happened in 2018. A little bit before that, this project has been on the TPO's priority list for many, many years. It's actually received funding, and that funding has been stripped away because there was not a regional entity to deliver the project on behalf of those local governments. So that's why in 2018, the TPO stepped up and said, okay, we will do that for all the local governments. And then on April 14th of 2021, the TPO approved Resolution 21-14, designating $1,621,143 from a Coronavirus Response Relief Supplemental Appropriations Act to the design of the Regional Traffic Management Center. These funds are actually being held by the department right now. They are the TPO's dollars. They're ready to be tapped into, and the design of the Traffic Management Center could commence actually very quickly. So actually what we needed to do was determine the location of where that Traffic Management Center would be built. In 2016, the TPO conducted a feasibility study and a master plan surrounding the efforts of the ATMS system. And at that time, the plan identified that the best location would be the Escambia County Emergency Operations Center. After looking at it for quite some time again, the conclusion was that is the best location for this facility. We looked at Santa Rosa County. Santa Rosa County does have a pretty good candidate competing piece of property that they're going to construct a public safety facility on. It's adjacent to the DOT building, but Escambia County did win out on that because they are putting in a broadband system. And in doing so, there's going to be roughly 54 miles of consecutive fiber that we'll be able to tap into those trenches and put our own fiber lines in to connect those signals. The county's indicated that they're going to have the hub of that broadband network come into this traffic management center. So that project right there just really made this site bubble to the top. We brought this before the Escambia County last week. They did approve unanimously to begin entertain a drafting of a lease with the TPO. So this is what this is. We are announcing or asking for approval of a motion approving that the Regional Traffic Management Center be located at the Escambia County Emergency Operations Center on the north vacant lot, and to authorize negotiations for a lease agreement between Escambia County and the TPO for the land on which the Regional Traffic Management Center will be constructed. So we're just letting everybody know we've selected on the site. County seems to be okay with it. Just asking for the TPO to go into a lease.
Excellent. Thanks for the update, Austin. That's really exciting. I think that's probably the most exciting thing I've heard in a while at one of these meetings. And as you indicated, this has been talked about for a long time. So that is my comment. So congratulations and thank you for the update. Since I cannot myself make a motion, do I have a motion on the floor to approve? Joe, okay, first. And Mark, second. Okay, all in favor? Aye. All right, any opposed? None. Okay, motion passes. And then Austin, you are up again for enclosure I with authorization of local agency program LAP agreement.
Thank you, Madam Chair. CIC members. Under this enclosure, you will see a draft LAP agreement, what they call a LAP agreement, the local agency program agreement. This is when an entity other than the department delivers a project using these funds that are provided through the work program. In order for us to do the design of the traffic management center, we have to enter into a LAP agreement with the department. And we don't have all the specifics just yet, but we are asking for the TPO to approve entering into a LAP agreement with the department for the delivery of the design of a traffic management center. And also to add on to this, the creation of a review and selection committee, because once we start getting this LAP agreement in place, we are going to issue a request for qualifications for an architectural engineering firm and start down that competitive bidding route. So I want to ask if we could form a 5-member committee, one from each of the local governments, to serve on the selection committee to review that.
Okay. Any questions or comments about that before we move? Okay. Is that a motion? Okay. Second? Tim, thank you. All in favor? Aye. None opposed. Thank you. Okay, so moving on to our presentation, our only presentation for the evening is an update from Mr. Gary Kramer on the implementation of targets for safety performance measures. Mr. Kramer, are you on the line?
Yes, I am. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chairman, CEC members. Closure J is the setting of targets for safety performance measures. Performance measures were an emerging issue by the Federal Highway Administration during development of the 2040 Long Range Transportation Plan. Rulemakings for safety, bridge and pavement and system performance were established by the Federal Highway Administration between 2016 and 2017. Bridge pavement and system performance targets were adopted by the TPO on September 12, 2018. Do not need to be adopted again until April 1st, 2023. Targets for safety performance measures must be adopted annually by February 27th for the 5 categories listed on page 2 of Closure J. The TPO can either accept the FDOT and Alabama DOT targets or establish their own targets for safety. The last 4 years, the TPO accepted the FDOT targets, which is Vision Zero, and the Alabama DOT targets were in 5 safety categories. The TPO wishes to accept different targets than the state targets for safety. Please let me know by December 17th. I'll coordinate with FDOT and LDOT on the data by county, which would need to be interpolated for the TPO study area for the 5 categories based on the 5-year rolling average from 2016 to 2020. However, going with different targets than the DOT targets will also require more detailed analysis, displaying on page 1 of enclosure J. This item is for review this month and approval in February. If you have any questions, I'll attempt to answer them now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kramer. Any questions or comments on that? Okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. Kramer. No questions or comments.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so our next items are just for information only. Enclosure K includes the minutes from the October 2021 TCC and CAC meetings, the TPO October Actions Report, and some ALDOT invoices. Other business, next, Florida, any comments or discussion on those information? Okay. Next business, next item of business is that the next Florida-Alabama TPO meeting and the advisory committee meeting dates and locations are TBD. So I guess this will be our last meeting of the year. Okay, and if there's no further discussion, we are adjourned. Oh, we have one. Hello.
Hello, Madam Chair, fellow CAC members. I am Ray Emery McPhee. I'm that one little tag along on that slide there, and I've got a quick presentation just to let you all know we're moving from GoToMeeting into GoToWebinar. It's a little versatile, a little more robust, and so it's creating a streamlined process for us. And just so you all are a little bit more familiar with the process, that's why I'm here, to give you all a head start. So we're starting slow, and anything that's live streamed on YouTube will be housed, or I'm sorry, let's start that over. Anything that's live on YouTube will be live on GoToWebinar. Anything that's archived on YouTube will then live on a page called the GoToStage page. It's fun, it's easy to say. Even better, they're all housed in one virtual hub together. It's going to be on our website. It's going to be one click for people as opposed to go to YouTube, go to our website. Again, the system is refined and designed for a really great user experience. It's going to mean live polling for you all, for anybody online. It's going to be an archive system for anybody to go back and leisurely view at their pace. It's easier for us on the backside too with audio visual control, so we're going to have more control for this meeting and any in the future. So when will it happen? In the new year, like anything good and new. So we do have a little bit of time to field your questions, field your concerns, get you comfortable with the system, and also make sure that our public is comfortable. To do that, we're going to be updating all that language, providing new instructions. So if you all need that go-to link for an illness, a vacation, or any emergency, all those same rules apply. Just let us know and we'll be happy to accommodate for you. So again, I'm here to answer any questions you may have, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Okay, and I would be remiss if I did not again apologize for my tardiness before we adjourn. So, meeting is adjourned.
So something is bugging out. Yeah? Something was like, while I was up there, I could hear my nose sneezing sounds. Weird. Yeah, okay. I was going full Fran Drescher.
All right, ladies.
Have a good one. Drive safe.
Yes, ma'am.
I guess you probably need to go grab sign.
Huh?
The signs and
Oh, yes, yes, yes. What's up, dear?
I should probably know that.
I don't. There's a CAC roster at every seat, though, that tells you where you're from.
Okay.